Hey guys, so I decided to take a journey from Brisbane, driving from Brisbane to Adelaide, using the HipCamp app. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty cool. It's basically like Airbnb for campsites. So each day, driving about 600 kilometers so far each day, which is it's a bit much. I think I might cut it down to like 200 or something like that. I found that 600, you don't really have enough time to stop and look at things. But here's where we are now. So this is the third campsite. I think I'm not exactly sure where this is. It's after Forbes somewhere. So I went through Parks. I think it's called Parks. If you've seen the movie Contact, Parks is the one with the huge satellite dish, and I saw it as I drove past. And that was part of the reason of thinking, gee, it'd be nice if I could stop, because I saw the huge antenna dish thing in the distance and it looked epic, but I was like flying along the highway at 100 k's an hour, couldn't stop. But here we are, we made it to this point. One of the things with some of these sites is like you just get a dropped pin in the middle of nowhere. So that's what this place was. Like I followed Google Maps to get here, across like dirt roads and all sorts of things, but the phone service cuts out, but somehow Google Maps keeps going. So anyway, made it. Campsite, the tent set up. But yeah, looks like I'm the only one here too, which is just crazy. I did see something jump in the water, like I don't know what it was. I think I'm guessing it was a fish, a big fish or something of some kind. Don't know why it was jumping. But luckily this is the border of New South Wales and Victoria in the middle of Australia, so no crocodiles. So yeah, you can feel safe pitching the tent creekside. Shall we go in? Oh yeah, one thing about camping generally is there are critters, lots of critters around. So yeah, as I'm pitching the tent, you're like, okay, make sure I'm not pitching this on a massive fire ant nest or some kind of ant nest. But yeah, so far so good. You know, this is survival. We survive. It's actually pretty cool. I think there's something special about being in this place. Like finding the rhythm of just what's happening right now, what this is. And that relates to the surroundings in a big way. Like so far on these trips, on these camps, nights or days, you just start to notice everything like that's going on around, like in the natural world. So, you know, whether it's like little bird families doing their thing, different kinds of bird families all interacting with each other, doing their thing, you know, sometimes squabbling, but chasing each other around. yeah, I guess just sharing their experience of the day. The day goes by, the sun sets, the sun comes up again, and all that rhythm of the whole thing. Yeah, you can't help but start to flow with that. Should I put my feet in? Mostly fresh water. Very fresh water. Anyhow, if you're ever thinking about exploring Australia, highly recommend Off the Grid Camping and Hip Camp. I mean, so far, kid you not, I've seen an emu in the wild, an echidna in the wild. What else? That's about it so far. But still, I mean, when I saw the emu, the emu was crossing the highway, and I was just kind of like, shit. Like I'd seen that before years and years ago, when I was crossing the desert. But just to see one in real life, I was just like, yeah, that's right. It's crazy. Those things do exist. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed.